Alright, what's going on, guys? The Air Lord is here. Welcome back to another Walking Dead vlog. I know I kind of had a bit of a break there in the channel ever since I uploaded that Call of Duty video. Some crazy insanity that happened when I was trying to beat the Mile High Club mission on the hardest difficulty. I'm not sure if any of my Walking Dead fans would really know about that. But it was nuts nonetheless. And I really haven't made any Walking Dead content since the trailer reaction that came out. Game of Thrones is in the middle of its 7th season right now, and I just covered the 3rd episode reaction the other night. So, basically, I'm in the middle of Game of Thrones. I just lost my train of thought. I'm in the middle of Game of Thrones, and it's been exciting. I've been enjoying Season 7. Every episode has been just divulging a lot. Like, a lot has happened. Characters meeting characters we haven't seen in a long time. Long-time meetings. And it's just been, a great season so far of just, just a lot of happening. They're just moving the plot forward at a rapid pace, just kind of soaring past there, anywhere that they had been before. We left off with Daenerys landing her ships, and now all these characters meeting. Obviously, this video is Walking Dead related, so I don't want to go too much on Game of Thrones. But still, exciting nonetheless. The last video I made was the 100th episode trailer for Season 8. And thinking back over it, I did my analysis. My friend Jared happened to be here, so we did that reaction together. It was interesting because the trailer was longer, I'll say, than most trailers that we've had for The Walking Dead. It had 2 songs. It had this staccato drum percussion beat, and then it had a song by the Dropkick Murphys called Prisoner Song, which is cool because it's like a rising up, kind of breaking the chains of being a prisoner, which is nice, which is cool. So I'm looking forward to how that's portrayed in the show. How we get to see all of these battles happen. Scott Gimple is quoted as saying that the first 4 episodes of Season 8 will melt your TVs and melt your minds, which is a nice metaphor to use, especially since people, again, were complaining about the pace of Season 7. And all you have to do, and I might make this a separate video at some point, but all you have to do is go to the comments section of the Season 8 trailer and just look at, there's a bunch of dislikes too, but look at the views that trailer has. It has millions, like 7-8 million views. You compare that to the views for some of the other trailers for Comic-Con, like, it dwarfs them. Stranger Things, Westworld, even though these shows are newer and they're really good, Walking Dead's viewership is through the roof. I think they had the highest viewed trailer numbers for their trailer ever, which is incredible. And so that's really great to hear that there's, some excitement over the fact that this is the 100th episode. This is the prime time to get excitement back in the show. After Season 7 was slow, saying that this is the 100th episode, it's Rick versus Negan, as we have the new banner art right there. With all of these things now happening, this is the perfect time to jump, to boost excitement. This war part of the comics is fantastic. For me, looking forward to a battle between these 2 great leaders, and also just to see fans maybe stop complaining about the show. I see it on Facebook, sometimes the comment section of my own YouTube videos. So it can get distracting, and I like the show so much, so I hate to see that. So yeah. Very cool. Obviously, I want to address the old man Rick. At the end of the trailer, I kind of went nuts thinking that they were referencing back to the first episode where Rick is in the coma, because they were. It was a reference back to that, but it wasn't a direct, like, oh, this whole thing was a dream thing. Maybe to people who hadn't read the comics and aren't really in the know, they thought that, but even Robert Kirkman cleared up that that's a time jump. Okay, and I should have thought about this, because the first shot of that room that Rick's in, you see a cane, and then you see flowers, and then you see him in the bed with a giant beard. The cane is, again, some spoilers. I'm going to say there's some spoilers for the comic and what's going to be happening with All Out War, but Negan actually breaks Rick's leg at the end of the war, right before Negan is defeated. and obviously Rick, they don't have medical facilities in the zombie apocalypse, so they can't really heal him to the greatest ability. And so from now on, he kind of hobbles about on a cane. And in the comics, Rick's new look is to have this giant gray bushy beard, like a giant beard that's like down to here. And obviously I'm clean shaven, so I can't really show you guys. But so it's pretty incredible. The time jump, I think, and I saw Rick as an older man than he would have been portrayed in the comics, because in the comics it's a 2-year time jump. I'm thinking, and I've been thinking about this theory, I think that they might do a longer jump, like 5, 6, even 10 years, because then characters like Judith and Carl can age up a little bit, especially Judith. I mean, she's been a baby for 7 seasons now, and I don't see her playing much of a role in season 8 other than maybe someone needing to save her in some sort of frantic situation. So yeah, I would like to see, it would be cool, maybe in this new world when Negan's defeated, the new world that Rick builds with all these communities, maybe it would be cool to see Judith integrated into that community instead of just kind of being a toddler, kind of just prancing about. We don't get many things with Judith other than maybe Negan finding her, and then there's some anxiety. There was the scene where Deanna, you didn't know if she was a zombie or not. She was in the crib just trying to see the baby one last time. So it's always anxiety over whether the kid's going to be hurt by a zombie or by a person, rather than any development with the character, which is understandable because it's a kid. But if there's a time jump like the one I just said, that could fix that. So there's definitely potential for that. So that's one theory. I saw a couple of points in the trailer, like Morgan swinging his stick at Jesus. I don't know if he's like hallucinating, going a little crazy there. It seems like Carol and Morgan still have their leftover lunacies from their mentalities of killing. You see Carol with the little chalk of how many people she's killed. You see Morgan kind of internalizing everything he's done and how he's changed his philosophy since Benjamin died. Interesting stuff. I like it. I did see from photos that were posted online from the Spoiling Dead that a lot of the cars that Rick uses have pieces of the Alexandria wall plastered onto them. So they're like armored trucks so that they can, they don't get shot by, gunshot bullets. Fortunately, there hasn't been too much Spoiling Dead content about Season 8. There's been, reports of who's been filming, and different, action sequences just from afar, but, nothing script-wise, nothing spoilery about who died. Last year it was bad because there were photos of Rick holding Lucille. There was photos of Daryl in a prisoner jumpsuit. There were all these reportings of how long certain cast members were staying. So that meant that people, obviously Glenn and Abraham weren't going to be around. So that means they were dead. So there was a lot of spoilers last year, which also I think soured it for people. So I'm glad that there's not as much now. It's kind of slower on that level. So yeah, those are just a couple of theories that I had out there. I'll do kind of like a longer predictionist video, or even just add on. This is just one of many videos that we can add on to. Let me know if you guys had any thoughts or comments you wanted to add about Season 8. I thought that addressing the Old Man Rick thing was important, what I thought about the time jump. I just added Carol and Morgan in there. I'm interested to see how specifically they deal with Dwight supplying information to Rick's group. How does he kind of change sides, other than some stuff that's already in the comics? How does Daryl's role add to that since he's not in the comics? So all of our non-comic characters. What will happen to the Oceanside? We didn't see the Oceanside in the trailer. Jadis's group, we saw them, but what are they going to do? Do they still have an alliance with Negan, or are they just going to be all for themselves? What's their role to play in this? That's because they're the wild card. They're not in the comics, and anything obviously that's not in the comics, I have no way of knowing unless some Spoiling Dead thing just happens to float into my comment section and I see it. So yeah, but it shouldn't be too spoilery. I think we should get to Season 8 kind of unscathed. I'm gonna try my best because episode 100, man, I want to experience that. Spoiler free. I'm going to really try this time. I said that last year to see who Negan killed, but the cliffhanger really made it tough. The way it happened, I was just pissed off, and obviously I wanted to know, and I felt that if I didn't see it originally from the source of who was spoiling it, I was going to see it from somewhere else. So it was inevitable in my point of view. Or from my point of view. So yeah, I expect more Walking Dead content, some vlogs here and there. Obviously, every Sunday, probably for the rest of August, the next 4-ish Sundays, 5-ish Sundays, you'll have Game of Thrones reactions, because there's only 7 episodes in Season 7, so those will go till Episode 7 comes out, and then that'll be done. And then we can start really hyping The Walking Dead after that. For anyone who's looking for like gameplay stuff on my channel for video games, I don't have many games lying around here I could really play. I have Prey, but I haven't touched it. And then I have the Crash Bandicoot trilogy, which I kind of touched that, as I mentioned a week ago. So I really don't have too many like gaming things. Obviously, when things come up, I post them, which obviously was the case with that Mile High Club mission, since it was pissing me off so much. The Xbox stuff, I don't even know why I said that, but actually no, it was because earlier, a few hours ago, I was actually playing Halo with a few just guys I met online who were pretty cool. And it brought back kind of, when I used to play Halo 3 religiously back in 2007, so it kind of brought back those good old days. And yeah, I enjoyed it. So it was pretty cool, and I just enjoyed playing with them. And obviously, there's some gameplay footage I have saved, and I might put that up. I mean, it's harder with the Xbox One because sometimes I don't have my capture device around it. I don't usually hook it up to the Xbox One. I'm not using the Xbox One much because it doesn't have many exclusives. PlayStation 4 would be the console to go for if I'm talking console-wise, but I don't want to get caught up on that. So anyway, thank you guys for watching. Comment, rate, and subscribe. And yeah, I'm excited for Season 8. These are just some trailer afterthoughts, I guess is the name of this video. Trailer afterthoughts. I wanted to clear up, again, that freaking coma thing. Oh, is Rick in a coma again? No, it wasn't all a dream. I don't think Kirkman Gimple would do that. So, all right. That's it from me. See you later.